the mayor of Sterling Heights, Michigan. It's this guy named Michael Taylor. And, of course, the way the media, they're very excited about him because he's endorsing Joe Biden because he thinks Trump is crazy. He's nuts. I mean, they're throwing everything they got at the 45th president of the United States. They're hoping for a recession. They're hoping coronavirus ends it all. You know, he's going to be finished. There's going to be an economic disaster. Today, hate to break it to you, the stocks are bounding back again. They're soaring. The global markets are bouncing back. This thing is up and down. Sure, the economy is going to be impacted. It's not Armageddon. We ought to be careful. We need to be cautious. We need to be calm. We need to carry on and not, not stupidly obey the media yappers that act like the world's coming to an end. So the Chicago Tribune did a profile on this guy. It takes 3 seconds to find out he's a longtime never Trumper. And the never Trump thing, it's a virus of the brain. It's like the coronavirus of your political instincts. And I see this happen. Honest to goodness, I see normal people get really kind of squirrely over some issues, like coronavirus. I've got a friend who's so panicked right now. What are we going to do? Do we do events? Or blah, blah, blah? Do I shake hands? I can't touch elbows. What if they sneezed in there? I was like, calm down. Good Lord. There's a friend of mine's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They have 1 case. You know how big the Dallas-Fort Worth area is? You know how many cases they have apparently in Texas? I think 5. It takes 3 days to drive from one end of Texas to the other without stopping. Relax. There's no reason to believe that the world is about to come to an end. And don't get mad at me when I'm quoting statistics. The airline industry is being impacted. There are economic realities about coronavirus. And there's a lot that we don't know. Please don't accuse me of fear-mongering when I admit that there's a lot we don't know. I don't know that I fully believe that somebody ate a bat. And before you know it, the virus is in New Jersey. I don't know. Who knows? We know what we don't know. But what I also know is that the media loves a guy like the mayor of Sterling Heights. It's right in the middle of Macomb County, Michigan. And Trump had a lot of support in this county, but not this guy. He supposedly is a local Tea Party figure. He's always voted Republican. Those are his bona fides. But then you start reading the article about this guy. And he says, I remember thinking this Trump thing is insane. But when it was down to him and Hillary, I kind of said, well, you are a Republican, and yeah, he's nuts, but maybe he'll get better. And you know he's going to lower taxes. I slowly talked myself into it. I said he can't be seriously this deranged once he gets in there. He's even more deranged now than I thought then. So this Republican mayor of Sterling Heights, Michigan, is going to support Barack Obama. Now, the only Republican who thinks this way, Biden, the only Republican who thinks this way is a never Trumper because they are consumed with a personal hatred of this guy that they can't even explain. You call yourself a Republican and you're going to vote for the pro-abortion guy? You call yourself a Republican and you're going to go vote for the open borders guy. You're going to vote for the higher taxes guy. You're going to vote for a destroy the economy guy. You're going to vote for the guy who was the only man in the room who didn't want to take out Osama bin Laden. Yeah, that's a great choice, Mayor Michael Taylor. And the residents of Sterling Heights, I don't know what his term is, don't really care. I mean, it's hard to believe that anybody's sitting around saying, yeah, I'm a Republican, but now Joe Biden's my guy. Yeah, Joe Biden, this guy, cut one. Here's Joe Biden just yesterday on the campaign trail.
Together, I think we can win back the House. We're going to keep the House, increase it, and flip the Senate.
Here's what the haters like Michael Taylor of Sterling Heights, Michigan, never want to acknowledge. Here's another political figure on the left. How about you ever heard of Gavin Newsom? You think he's a conservative? Hardly. You think this guy is in any way, shape, or form a Trump supporter? Think again. You think there's any way this guy is aligned with Republicans in any way, shape, or form? Gavin Newsom, Californians know who he is. You know Gavin Newsom. You know his reputation. He's the governor of California. And here's what he had to say about President Trump's coronavirus response. You got a lot of challenges with this thing. You got people on a cruise ship. People, floating around on a cruise ship. Listen to what the liberal Democrat governor of California had to say about the president of the United States. And by the way, let me acknowledge credit where credit is due. It's very difficult for Trump haters to say anything positive about him. They just don't have it in their soul. They can't be normal. Look at this goofy mayor of Sterling Heights, Michigan. Yeah, I'm sure he voted for Trump in 2016. Sure you did. Sure you did. You voted for somebody you thought was nuts? Okay, great. See, normal people don't think Trump is nuts because there's nothing Trump does that qualifies being nuts. He's bombastic. He's not diplomatic. He probably says things that, certainly ordinary lifelong politicians don't say. He's not nuts. The only person who's nuts is a guy who represents a town in a community that supports Trump, who's going to endorse poor Joe Biden. So here's Governor Newsom, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, talking about President Trump's response to coronavirus in his state. This is cut 12 from Grabian.
Yeah, we had a private conversation, but he said we're going to do the right thing, and you have my support, all of our support, logistically and otherwise. So before he made those statements publicly, I had a private conversation with him around 4:30 West Coast time, and he said everything that I could have hoped for. And we had a very long conversation, and every single thing he said, they followed through on. So I'm just not interested in finding daylight on those statements because every single thing his administration, and it starts at the top, including the vice president, has been consistent with the expectation that we repatriate these passengers, and we do it in a way that does justice to the spirit that defines the best of our country and the state of California.
Pull yourself off the floor. That was California Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom. Probably haven't heard much of that in the mainstream media, right? Because that's their worst nightmare. And make no mistake about it, he's going to pay a price for that. Because the Democrats and the left and the haters are incredibly and increasingly vicious. But here's a guy, and I don't agree with Gavin Newsom's policies, but a Democrat who's willing to give credit to the President of the United States for having done every single thing he said he followed through on, and saying that the country's response is everything he could have hoped for. That's a liberal Democrat in one of the most liberal Democrat states in America praising the President of the United States for his response to coronavirus. So, Mayor Michael Taylor, why don't you put that in your pipe and smoke it? It's kind of stunning that the liberal Democrat governor of California makes more sense than a supposedly Republican mayor of Sterling Heights, Michigan. Welcome into the Mike Gallagher Show in the ReliefFactor.com studios